Tell us a bit about the challenge first of all. What are you doing?
So we're going to be racing in the world's toughest row Atlantic, which is a 3,000 mile unsupported row from the Canary Islands to the Caribbean. So very nice. It's La Gomera to Antigua, fully unsupported, which means we're going to have to carry all our food, create our own drinking water, maintain the boat, and obviously it's powered by ourselves.
We've got the boat with us. First time it's been on public view. Looking excellent. Are you pleased with it?
Fantastic. So excited, yeah.
Tell us a bit about the sort of background of you deciding to do this then.
So, I don't know, it was over 10 years ago, Atlantic Campaigns, who organised the race, they made these amazing documentaries. From the moment I saw it, I was hooked. I mean, it's a test of physical ability, mental resilience. It challenges absolutely every part of your being. And I was hooked, but I never thought it was possible until I actually worked with someone that was about to do it, and he sort of explained all the little things that you need to get in a row, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a crack. I just need to put a team together. So I asked lots of people were like, absolutely not. You know, I'd love to, can't get the time off work, 'cause it's quite demanding on time. And then Chris had just come back from Baku. We went out for dinner and I was like, look, I'm thinking about doing this race. Are you in? He said, no. But about 30
few pints later.
Yeah, 30 minutes later, he was like, well, how long is it going to take?
So are you rowers?
No.
No?
In no way, shape or form have we done any ocean rowing.
Right, what about non-ocean rowing? Have you trained for this?
We have done no training previously in our life, so we're rugby players and fitness freaks, but we've never rowed an ocean boat. We've done a little bit of kayaking, a little bit of river rowing, but that's completely different to rowing an ocean. So this is a new test for us.
So is it an individual challenge or is it a race that you're doing? What is it?
Yeah, so it's a race. So in our year, there's actually 42 teams from
Wow.
around the world. And that ranges from solo rowers all the way up to teams of 5. Obviously, we're going as a pair. I believe our year there's 12 pairs. Yeah.
Excellent. The boat is behind us. It's going to be quite cosy. There's not a lot of room in this boat for two people. How long will you be on it for?
So the average is about 50 days for a pairs team.
Right.
So we're hoping to push for sub 40 if we can, but if we can hit the 40, then we're doing real good. So
Now, you have been out on the boat this week. How was that for you both?
I'll let Kip answer that one first.
It was emotional. No,
Really?
Yeah, it was invaluable. I mean, we had a great experience of certain sea states, and I just happened to get pretty seasick almost immediately. So I was battling that for a long time. But it was great exposure. We rode through the night. We did an overnight. I think we were out for 30 hours total.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, yeah, invaluable training for us.
You were saying you've got to be self-sufficient. So what sort of food do you take on board and how do you deal with that?
So all of our meals are dehydrated, high calorie adventure meals, really, the kind of meals they take up Everest and other extreme adventure challenges. So we will be rehydrating our packaged meals. We've got a little water boiler on board so we can heat our water up, mix the food and then get it down as fast as we can, and it's not too exciting. It'll be repeat and just get it in. You need to fuel. So.
And there'll be somebody rowing all the time, I would imagine. I mean, is there an ultimate time of the year to do this? I'm thinking of like currents and wind and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so the race starts typically on December 12th, and the reason is you'll catch the trade winds off Africa. So you sort of punch south out of the Canary Islands and get a little assist from current and wind across. But
too early or too late, you hit the hurricane season either side.
Right.
So it's a great window to go in December.
And tell me a bit more about the boat. I mean, will all the people taking part have a boat like this?
Yes, so there's a few different manufacturers. This is an R25 built by Rannoch, who's down in Burnham on Crouch. They've got a long track record of building successful boats which have crossed successfully and also fast, which is key for us. There are another few manufacturers that build the boat, but the design's pretty similar.
Yeah.
The teams that have got more people in, they have a slightly longer boat, and you go right the way down to the solos, which have a slightly smaller boat than this, but yeah, pretty similar. We all look the same.
Not much room for privacy, but you've known each other a long time, haven't you? Tell us about your background.
So we first met day one of secondary school, so we've known each other for over 20 years. And
And we're still friends.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we've done well.
Well, we'll see if you are at the end of this.
Yeah.
40-day test.
Yeah.
It will be a test, won't
It
it?
certainly will, but we're doing our best to be prepared. We've got a mental resilience coach, a physical conditioning coach, and we're on it early. I think we're getting ahead of the curve.
And of course, it costs money to do this. You've had to buy the boat. How are you raising money, and are you looking for more help?
Absolutely. The more help, the better for us. So our overheads roughly around 130,000 with the purchase of the boat, the trailer, the race entry fees, the safety equipment that we need. We're running about 130 now, but everything else that we can get is going to go towards our chosen charity, which is the John Egan Trust. So the more money we can raise, the more sponsors we can get on board, the more money we can give to Jet at the end of it.
And why did you decide on the John Egan Trust?
So the John Egan Trust, they support disadvantaged children from all backgrounds, whether it be the parents are sick and they're caring for their parents and they prioritise that over school, or whatever other circumstances they might find themselves in. John Egan Trust really support those through the school system, and give them different options and introduce them into leadership courses and different routes after school. And both myself and Kit, we struggled with that. We were not really interested in university. We both had our own personal adversity when we were children, which affected us through school, which we never spoke about until
Not even to each other.
not to each other when we were younger. Only until we started to talk about the John Egan Trust did we discover our own stories that we were both battling with at the time, and it just fits in so well. One of the schools which John Egan Trust are active in is our school that we went to, St George's College in Sleaford. So we thought it'd be a great full circle to do as much as we can to support Jet and help the kids that are in our school as well and across the country.
And ultimately, one of the big fundraisers is you'll sell the boat at the end of it all.
That's the plan.
How will you part with it after all those days together on it?
We're either going to be incredibly happy to get rid of it, or we're going to be so emotional we just can't get rid of it. But there's a bit of discussion going on around there. We might have a master plan involved that might keep us going a bit longer. But
Let me just sort of go up a bit higher. So we've got two pods really, one at either end of the boat. So is one for storage, one for sleeping? What's the idea?
So we have the big cabin here, the bow cabin. That will typically be full of equipment, all our tools, survival equipment. And then at the rear we have our HQ, which is where we have our chart plotter, radios.
There is a front and a back then.
Yeah, a bow and a stern. And this is where we'll spend most of our time. We'll sleep in here.
And that's the other thing I was going to ask. You will be in communication with people then, will you, by radio and such?
Yeah, I mean, we've only got a VHF radio, so sort of not line of sight, a bit further, but we will have a sat phone, so we can receive calls, and we'll also have, hopefully, if we raise enough money, we'll have a B-gun which will provide some internet, so we can send content home and receive messages from family.
People can follow you that way.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.